Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to start the bead embroidery series. So I have some bead embroidery on my channel already, but we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it like from start to finish, and we're going to take a little bit slower this time. Here are some pieces I just wanted to share with you that I've already done and that I have videos for, except for these two. I don't have videos for these, but these all have videos. And for those of you who worked on these with me, how fun was Al Capone and Tallulah. We were kind of learning together at that point. But now I know a little bit more, and I think I probably could even teach it a little bit better now. So we're going to do a bracelet. I took a poll, and the bracelet won. But if you want to do the, a pendant or a pin or a brooch or such, you can still bead along with me. Or with this video, you just have to go to the other videos for construction, for putting it together and cutting out the sizes and such. So we're going to use a blank cuff for this. So this blank is inside this bracelet, which makes it such a great bracelet. It's so sturdy. I love it. It's just my favorite way of beading. There's one in here too. It's just bigger. So we're going to use this 1" by 6" cuff. This can be stretched, and it will fit just about any wrist size. So if you don't have this cuff, that's fine too. You can do a flat one, and you can also work with me throughout this whole video, and it's going to be a series of videos. You can work with me through the whole series until you get to construction, in which case you'll be referring back to the Tallulah bracelet if you want to do a flat one. So I will, of course, we'll link below where you can purchase all materials and all, and the cuff, etc., everything that you need. All right, so these are just some examples. The one that we're going to make, I'm going to be using some of the beads from the Eureka Fairy Frost collection, so grab your collection, but I'm going to be using a whole lot of other beads besides those beads. So I've chosen some from that collection and some from other bead boxes and some from my stash. So I haven't made it yet, so we're going to be making it together. So I don't have a sample to show you. I only have this to show you. So I'm going to clear this off. We'll get a materials list going and we'll get started. Okay, let's get the basics down as far as what you're going to need for this cuff. So you're going to need something to bead on, so a bead backing. So there's several types. Here I have Nicole's bead backing or Lacy stiff stuff. You can get those on most bead websites and on Etsy. I'm going to link everything in the description box below the video, so you'll have links to every place that you can purchase this stuff. And then here I found this at Michael's. This is a piece of stiff felt, so it's stiffened. It's not regular. It's regular felt, but there's something in it that makes it stiff. So it's pretty much just like this. You can use that as well. And also, I don't have any, but there's some. Joann Fabric sells a Pellon Peltex fabric backing, and I think it's about a 70 weight. Again, I'll link that below, and you can use that as well. So you can just go right to the craft store and get your backing, no problem. All right, you'll need a cuff blank. So stay with me. This is a 1" by wide by 6" long cuff blank, and that's how it works, just like that. And this is what we're going to put inside our piece to make it nice and rigid and sturdy. So this, again, I'm going to link where you can find it. It's very easy to find. It's about $3.50 for one of these. So this is awesome to have. If you don't want to use this, you can make it flat, but I'm going to refer you to the Tallulah video when you construct your piece. You can go, if you're doing it flat, we can stay with me up until construction, and then you'll have to go to that video. Okay, so you'll need one of these. I suggest you try this. This is so easy and so nice to have. All right, you'll need some Ultra Suede, and this is for the inside of your cuff. And it's gorgeous, so soft, and it's nice and sturdy, and when you pierce it, you don't really see the holes, and it doesn't unravel or anything. So you'll need your Ultra Suede for the interior of the cuff. You need a ruler, pencil. You need some E6000 and some white glue. I use both. I use the E6000 for gluing my finished embroidery piece to the cuff, but I use the Elmer's to glue the Ultra Suede on the inside. Tape measure. I've got a regular size 10 beading needle. I've got a scissor. I have a pencil. I think, yeah, everything else, I think that's about all. Those are sort of the basics as far as construction is concerned. So I'm going to clear this off and then come back and I'll show you some beads you can use. Okay, so I've pulled out a few beads. Pulled out a lot of beads. I'm not going to use all these beads, but I just wanted to show you some of the things you can use, because a lot of times you don't think you have the beads for something, but you really do. So if you are a subscriber to any of the boxes, or if you've purchased the Eureka Crystal Beads collection, any of the collections, especially the Fairy Frost, because the Fairy Frost is the one that has all the bead embroidery pieces in it. So, or, you know, supplies in it. So I'm going to be using those beads, you know, for part of it. So the focal bead, this is from the Fairy Frost collection, and the cup chain, you know, and we've got some little pearl cabochons here. This is from my stash. This is a rose quartz cabochon. I think that's about 10 millimeter. I have all these delicas and seed beads. So these, I think 4 are from the collection, and I've just picked out some of my own from my stash. Some 8-Os, some more 8-Os. These are from the Dollar Bead Box. So, you know, if you're a Dollar Bead Box subscriber, you have a ton of stuff here. And Potomac Crystal's Best Bead Box also. And I'll show you that. So here, if you have the Best Bead Box, you have some cabochons. Now these are from several boxes, not all one box, but you have these really pretty disc duos. You have a cabochon here that you can glue down and bezel around. That would be beautiful. Here are 3 more that came in the Potomac Better Bead Box. Look at that pretty blue one, and this, and you have these pretty, these are, I think these are mini, round duo minis. You can use those as well. So anything you can sew down, you can use, and it doesn't, you know, it can be any size as long as, you know, you love it. So how about that for a little combo right there? These Ava beads, little Ava beads, are these minis? I don't know, it's just a different size. These are such great texture that you can add, and you can even make sort of designs on your cuff with them. So I mean, really, you have the beads. Here are these little copper sort of spacer beads, and you can put a bead in the center, and it looks so pretty. And here, these are from the Dollar Bead Box. These are those gorgeous purple beads that we got, and I don't remember what box it is, but you can sew these down and bead around them. Here are these little spacers. And just one more thing, I was just looking through the Dollar Bead Box again, just to, you know, just want to give you ideas, because I know a lot of you are Dollar Bead Box subscribers. So here I just picked out all black and blue, like black and greens and turquoises, and look at all these great beads that you can use on a cuff. So really, you have the beads. I know you don't think, you know, sometimes you don't think you do, but you really do have the beads. So go off and just have some fun picking out some really beautiful beads, and pick out a lot of them. So because a lot of them I'm going to say, no, I don't want that one, I don't want that one, and I want this one. I might add something to it. So give yourself a nice selection of beads to work from, and then come on back and we'll start to do some beading. Okay, we're back. So now you want to get your outline of your beading area done. So I want to get this outline done here. So this is 1 inch by 6 inches. So what I did is I cut a piece of my backing this is about 3 inches by, what is that, about 9 inches, 8 or 9 inches, let's say 9 inches. So you want a piece that you can manipulate and hold while you're beading and stuff. You don't want a huge piece. And then what I did was I came down about 1/2 inch or so, maybe 3/4 of an inch from the top, and I just put dots all along the top like that, and then I connected them. I just went straight across, so just like that, okay? And then to get the width of my bracelet, I measured about 1 inch and, you know, 3/16, 1/8, something like that, and I put several dots there on the bottom as well. So from that line to this end, and then I connected those dots, and that gave me the width of my bracelet. So you see how this is going to fit right there. There's a little bit of wiggle room, which is good. And then I want to get the length. So here, let me just move my camera over a little bit. Okay, so here, I'm going to move this. All right. So I want 6 inches, but I want a little bit more than 6 inches, because I want to, you know, it's possible that, you know, the fabric backing may pull in a little bit. You want to have a little wiggle room. So I made it about 6 1/4. So I just marked 6 1/4. So I started anywhere. Just put your ruler in the middle, and then just put a line here, and then here to 6 1/4. And now I have the interior of my beading surface. So this entire area here is where we're going to bead. What I did is I just rounded my corners because my cuff has rounded corners, so I just wanted to look like that so I can kind of adjust my beading a bit. And now this is exactly this, only it's flat. So if you flatten this out, that's what it would look like. All right, so get that done and then come on back and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now that you have your area mapped out that you're going to bead, you have to think of some sort of design you want to put on there. Now you can just do free form and just do, just bead, and maybe put some focal beads down and then just let your imagination go wild. I kind of need like a focal point really to look at, so, and I want to use this cabochon, so I took the cabochon and I centered it between these two ends and here, and I just drew around it with a pencil or a marker or whatever. So then I have this circle here, and to me, it looks like a moon, doesn't it? I mean, it looks like a full moon. And then I thought, I'm feeling a little whimsical, I'm going to put little curly cues around. So I have these little stencils that I got on Amazon, and my hands are already dirty from, this is ink, and you'll see why in a second. So I have these little stencils, and all I did with the stencil was I just placed, let's see, which way did I do that? So I placed it down on so I have this guy already done. I placed a stencil down, and then I just traced around the stencil. I didn't do the exact size. I just wanted to get one edge because I liked, I like the flow better than I could do it freehand. And I did the same thing with these. This is going to change. It's going to be, it looks very simple right now, but by the time I get all the different sizes, colors, shapes, everything of beads in there, it's going to look so different, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be beautiful. So here, this is how it's going to start, just like that. So that's one way of doing it. All right, so it's a thought right there. And then another way is you can get a stamp, a rubber stamp, and this is great for those of you who say, I'm not artistic, I can't do this, I can't draw anything in, I'm all, thumbs when it comes to that. So I have this little leaf stamp, some ink here, and I'm doing it with this black ink. You might want to do a lighter color, but I just want you to be able to see it, just, give you an idea. So I'm just taking this stamp, and I'm just going to stamp. And what I did is I put some tape down around the edges. So here, so I just did it in like different, I kind of moved the stamp around, and then I'm going to pull the tape off. And look at that pretty background I have. And that's why I have ink all over my fingers, because put me near a stamp pad and look what happens. So look at that. Wouldn't that be cool just to use all your beads? You don't even have to use a focal bead with this. All you have to do is use all your different colors and sizes of beads and seed beads, and I love that idea. I think that one's really pretty. So you can do that. So we have these two. And then, let me just move my stamp. And then you can do like I did with the azalea cuff. If you haven't seen this, I used these are leaves again, so I used leaves. I just took them, cut them off an azalea bush. Now these are fake plant leaves, but in the summer when I made this, I used real azalea leaves. And you can just put those on and trace around them. So that's another way of doing it. So lots of options here. And then one more, just because I have it. I have this Zen Doodle coloring book. So these are calming swirls. They're stress relieving designs to color. And they have all kinds of designs in here that you can get ideas from. And these are awesome. Any one of these would be gorgeous on a cuff. So lots of ideas, lots of ways to do it where you don't have to be artistic, you don't have to worry about looking at it like a writer or looking at a blank page and saying, what do I do with this? All right, so go off and have fun creating your design, and then come on back and we'll start to do some beading. All right, see you. Okay, we're back, so let's start gluing on the cabs. So I know I want my big cab right here in the center. Okay, so I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to pick other little cabs that I know that I want fixed on my design. Like, you can change your mind with other stuff, but this is stuff that I know I want to bezel. So I'm going to take the two pearl cabochons and put them there. I'm going to take one of these rose quartz pieces and put it there. I'm I'm going to take one of my flat backs. I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to take one more rose quartz and put it right there. So these are the ones that I want fixed, that I'm going to bead around. Now notice, when you bead around these stones, when we do the peyote bezels, it's going to take some space up around the stone. So that's why I've sort of spaced things out, and it's, as I said, it's going to change as we go along. The basic design will be there, but you're going to be adding a lot of beads with the bezels. So I'm going to glue these down, and you do the same. Now, if you have the little flat backs that you sew on, you don't have to glue those down, but you can. I'm just going to put a teeny bit of glue on it. So when you glue, I'm not going to do it right on camera. You glue, you're just going to put a thin layer here. You don't want it to ooze out. You just want a thin layer, because these are going to be held in with beads. So we just want to, we're just helping it along a little bit. So put a thin layer on of your E6000, pop it down, and then this you're going to have to let dry for quite a while. So I would give it overnight, because then you're going to be beading around everything. You're going to be bending it, and so you're going to be bending the backing and such to get beads in. So you want to make sure they're nice and secure until you have them, and the glue is nice and dry. Okay, so get that done, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so we've come this far in lesson 1, and this is going to be the end of this video. And the next video, we will bezel all our cabochons, and then after that we'll have another video where I will show you the rest of the stitches. We have a ton of other stitches that we're going to learn, and so on. So then after that we'll be constructing the whole cuff and such. So the next video is going to be bezeling, and I will get that up very soon. All right, I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you're having as much fun as I am doing this. It's such a blast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring that bell. That's what I'm supposed to say. Ring the bell. All right, I'll see you soon.